All right. So we got Young E class in the building, man. Young E, I appreciate you pulling up, bro.
No question. Appreciate you having me.
Nah, for sure, man. And so, just to get started, man, you from Northeast. Talk
Yeah.
about what it was like, growing up in DC, in your era.
Oh, it was for me it was a little different than like the normal person that'll probably tell you how they grew up. Cause I grew up around family. Like my whole neighborhood, like everybody was cousins. So it's certain things that I ain't even had to worry about. Like it's certain protections we had growing up. It's certain privileges we had being in a neighborhood that was like family ran. Like I'm a Venable, Redwood. So like when it came to 13th Street, like it was us. Like I ain't really had to like worry about nothing. Like it was to a point like when I was young, I remember me and my cousin Chuck, we was in the alley and no, we was on the side of the store. It was a store on the corner of 13th and Florida Avenue. It was called Black Supermarket. And who ran it was named Walter. He was like an uncle to me for real, for real. So when they do like chip deliveries to the store, the chip truck pulled up and we seen a dude steal a bunch of boxes off the chip truck. So me and my cousin Chuck went in the store to Jimmy. If people, man, everybody know who Jimmy is. He was just handicapped. So they had this old gun in the store. It was like a revolver, but it was broke because you had to hold it. Because if you hold it straight, the barrel will fall out. So he gave it to us or whatever. Oh, did he give it to us or Walter's son? No, Walter's son gave it to us, a Kill. So Kill gave us the jump. So man, Chuck, mind you, we like eight. We like eight or nine or something. We run in the alley like, hey, give us some chips. So Slim like, what? So I pulled the revolver out. Then Chuck grabbed it from me and like pointed it. He was like, man, give us them chips. So Slim was like, man, what the fuck you say? And this motherfucker went in his pants and all you heard was, "Whoing!" Like he pulled out a big ass machete or some shit. We like, oh shit. So we breaks. And we run back in the store. So the dude run in the store and he was like, we ran in the store, we ran in the back behind the soda machines. So the dude run in the store, he look over, he like, man, where them kids go? So a kid was like, oh, them Mike nephews. He was like, oh, them Mike nephews? He put the John number just left. And I knew then I was like, all right, this, like, yeah, like I understood what it was or whatever. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. So like basically something like that happened and kind of like let you know who, you was connected to and who.
Yeah, it let me know like I had an idea because our neighborhood just was different than like when I go over cousin houses or whatever. My my we our neighborhood just operated different. So that just showed me like, cause the dude I seen, I never seen him in the neighborhood before. Like I never seen him before. So for me to see that the respect it went all the way to Slim, I was like, oh wow. It just let me know, you know what I'm saying, where I was at. It let me know that like, you know what I'm saying, I was protected there. Even cause it was a time I lived in Suitland too. And just seeing how that go. Like just seeing how everything go, I always knew 13th Street was different.
Mhm. So what kind of kid would you say you was like growing up?
I was bad as shit. I was bad as a motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie. I was one of them kids that like if it's a button on the wall or a switch and they got a sign beside it, they be like, "Don't flip the switch." I'ma flip that motherfucker. Like I always tested the boundaries. I always just was in the shit. I wasn't scared. I don't even think I was like scared to get in trouble for it. For real. I just was always in the shit. I was active. I was active, like to the point, like even as a child, like certain family members was like, yeah, they had to schedule my visit to come over their house or whatever. It wasn't just, it wasn't just regular for real, for real. But yeah, I was bad. I was active, but I was smart though. I was smart. I was smart. I was a smart kid, but I was bad though. I ain't gonna lie.
What were like when you was younger? Like what was your like aspirations like as far as like what you wanted to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a football player. Like when I was young, cause we played football in the street. We played football on our street, and our job was always good at football. Then there was a point in time I remember I wanted to be a comedian, cause I thought I was always people always laughed at me, so I thought I was funny. Until I found out comedians write jokes and all that shit. I thought they just get up stage and talk shit. I think them the only two things I ever want. Oh, it was a point in time I wanted to be like a veterinarian because always loved animals. So I wanted to, know what I'm saying. But as a kid, I thought it meant just playing with animals. I didn't know I had to go to school and learn the body of an animal and all that shit. But yeah, I didn't really have a lot of like dreams for real. Just you know what I'm saying. I played football. I wanted to be a football player. I like animals. I want to be a veterinarian. Shit like that.
You said before that like, or you've listed like Tupac, you know, your older brother, and just like the streets of DC in general as like influences in your life. What did like each one of those things or those people and things like? How did they influence you in their own way?
Man, my biggest influence is Pop. Like till this day, for real, for real. It's just the passion. Like I just felt it. Like it wasn't nothing he showed me. It wasn't nothing I seen that Pac did. It wasn't nothing that I heard him say. It's just what I felt from him. Like I felt the passion. Like when whatever he talked about, when he was beefing, the passion he had inside that beef when he was screaming West Coast, the passion he had and screaming it. When he was talking about black people, the passion he had for like that passion. Like I think that's why I'm such a passionate person. Like I feel like whatever you believe in, whatever you stand for, even if it's momentary, is this or is that. That's how I look at it. Anything I approach is this or we dying. That's how I look at shit. And I feel like I got that from him.
Would you say like him being like a revolutionary? Did you took a lot of inspiration from that too?
Without knowing. Like I didn't at a young age I didn't know, you know what I'm saying, he was a revolutionary. I just that nigga was loud. And you hear me? Like I ain't know he was no revolutionary, but I started taking certain stances in even my youthful. Like if something ain't make sense, I'm I'm saying something. Shit like you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I would say without even knowing, it did.
How did your older brother influence you?
Cause he was it was like a mysterious influence because he wasn't around a lot. Like I got two brothers, so and all three of us got different fathers. So me and my middle brother, the middle brother, me and him more so stayed together. Like when we lived at Trinidad, we was like I don't really have a lot of memories with my older brother around. He'd just pop up, and when he popped up, like he rapped. He he looked like DMX and shit. He was, you know what I'm saying? So it's like when he came around, I'm like, damn, that's my big brother. He looked cool as a motherfucker. And I didn't know a lot about him because all us 5 years apart from each other. So he 10 years older than me. Like I'm 5 years from one brother and that brother 5 years from that brother. So the oldest 10 years from me. And it's like, Slim was just, I don't know. It's just, at a young age, when he popped up, they like, that's your older brother. And he just looked lit to me for real, for real. So it was just, I wouldn't say it was an influence, but that's how I got into rap though.
Were your older brothers were they like active in the streets?
Nah, one of them, he was more so to himself. He was outside, but he wasn't dealing with, you know what I'm saying, street activities. And my oldest brother, like, he wasn't like, they wasn't active. Like, people know him, but they weren't active enough. Like, I was, you know what I'm saying?
Did they try to like kind of keep you away from that lifestyle?
I know one of my brothers did. My middle brother, I remember he found out I had a gun. He found out I had a gun. He like, what the fuck you need a gun for? You young as shit. And I was like, shit, nigga beefing. And he pulled up on me and some niggas was shooting at me at the bus stop. So I was like, man, I'm good. And I think he was like, damn, like my little brother gone type shit. Then I caught my first charge when I was 11. And man, I don't even think they really had a chance to do it because I was always gone. I was always outside or over my grandmother's house. Cause my mother, when she moved to Suitland, I'm going back to around 13th Street to my grandmother's house after school, weekends, summertime. So I wasn't even really around them enough for them to really like probably try for real.
So when did you like get, your influence, or like when did you get, kind of off the porch basically?
Uh, Honestly, I don't even fucking know. Like I feel like I was always off the porch. Not to sound like super gangster, or nothing, but I'm saying I feel like I was always because I was watching my cousins my whole fucking life, like really watching them on 13th Street shootouts, fucking hustling. I remember the feeling. I remember the first time like a crackhead walked up to me and was like, I'm like, the fuck that motherfucker want? Whole time that's how they bought crack, you know what I'm saying? They let them know they want 2, 1 or whatever. And they thought I was hustling. And I remember like wondering what the fuck that was. And then I seen my cousins doing it and I'm like, damn. I'm like, oh, all right. They was trying to buy some crack. Like, so I've been exposed to guns and murder and all that. I seen all that shit since I was a kid. So I don't even know when I say I got off the. I mean, if we saying like when the first time some work was put in or something, it just depends on what kind of work. But I was outside early.
Do you feel like, or how do you feel like, everything you was exposed to, how did that affect you like mentally? Like did it like kind of like give you like some type of trauma or whatever? Like, cause you was seeing so much at a young age.
Man, man, I'm sure it's trauma there. I'm sure it's trauma there. But I think the most like the issues that I had with love growing up, I think that affected me in a way so early, so fast that I was I just accepted shit different, and I went through shit different, and I like even we was just talking about a situation around my way last night when a cousin of mine, like a nigga was running down shooting, banging at him, a big 4-4 bulldog, bow bow, and this nigga ran on the block and grabbed me and put me in front of him. To, you know what I'm saying? Shield himself, and the nigga was pulling the trigger but ain't shit come out. Like I was froze. I was watching this nigga index finger yanking that motherfucker, and I was like, damn, like I ain't cried nothing. And my cousins was on the porch. I can't remember if my grandma was on the porch or not, but after it was just when he put me down, nigga, we went to high street play football. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. I was just I don't know if I was numb or I don't know if I was just amazed or I don't know if I was soaking it in. Like them memories like movies to me and shit. That shit cinematic. You know what I'm saying?
Do you feel like your neighborhood was one of the worst spots in DC growing up?
No, I wouldn't say that. Man, I was like Trinidad, yes. Like our neighborhood was directly across the street from Trinidad. I lived on Trinidad. I lived on Rump Street, but I was always on 13th Street. So we was in between two of the worst neighborhoods, whether it was Trinidad or whether it was Wally Street. Cause I remember Wally Street like being one of the first neighborhoods that had cameras on it. When the National Guards came and shut down the block and put the big ass lights out and shit. That was both of them was right in the our neighborhood was in the middle of both of them, and I frequented both of them neighborhoods. But the block that I was on, I wouldn't say that was it was fine. It was our family, so it was just niggas getting money for real, for real. Like if shootouts happen, it was normally them defending that block, or 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 niggas coming through. You know what I'm saying? You know how that shit go, but. It wasn't really like we only took like one loss for real on that block. Rest in peace, Lil Harold. Made it to the millions in the street, like getting money. I'm talking about money. I'm talking about table full money, like having buildings, having stores and shit. Like yeah, so it was more to me. I will always remember motherfucker getting money more than violence, and on the block that I was on.
So you know how in DC like a lot of the beef can be like over like different neighborhoods, like where you
Yeah,
from. Did you ever like get caught up like you
yeah,
said you was
definitely,
in between
definitely.
two different hoods
Yeah,
like
definitely. Like I don't wanna cause I don't like to like I don't never wanna reunite no beefs and shit. But like yeah, like we had yeah, like with neighborhoods that was like right down the street or right across the street. You know what I'm saying? Even the odd side, top and bottom, like where you from dictates how your life go coming from. You know what I'm saying? Coming from outside and shit. And yeah, that's just what it is. Like it ain't no gang shit. It ain't no whatever. It's just it's neighbor. It's really like, and even inside of a neighborhood, just depending on what side of the street you from, dictates how it go. If you from up top, if you from down bottom, you know what I'm saying? So like that neighborhood shit big, them politics big. Yeah.
So you talked about Tupac being like one of your biggest influences. Who like else like musically did you like were you inspired by?
Tupac, then it was Lil Wayne. Like seeing a young, like I remember that Back That Ass Up video and seeing that little nigga run out, wobbity, wobbity, wop. I was like, damn. I was like, I really could rap. Like, cause I ain't know if I could really do it at first because I remember being on house arrest, like 11 years old, getting took to my big homie studio around Trinidad and me rapping like street shit. And he like, man, ain't nobody trying no kid talk that shit. Cause back then you had like Bow Wow and all them niggas. They was commercial. I didn't know how to rap like that. Like I didn't know how to. I only knew how to rap what was around and shit. And I remember like motherfuckers saying nobody don't want to hear no kid talk that shit. Then I seen Lil Wayne talk that shit. I was like, oh yeah, yeah. Then plus like he could rap like he my favorite rapper. Like I believe he the what I'm saying greatest rapper ever.
Did you like grow up on the Section 8 mob?
Nah. I knew who they was, but I ain't grow up listening to them. When it came to earlier artists, I grew up under like the Young Farmers and shit. Yeah, that was my era. Young Farmers, Twin Glocks, BDI, all them niggas. Yeah, one way. I fucked it with that shit.
What was the DC music scene like back when you was coming up?
It was really just them. Like it was like you Section 8 Mile is older than me. That's more so like niggas that really grew up in like the 90s and shit. But it was really like honestly just for me, like not no shade saying nobody else was doing no music, but all I knew was the Young Farmers, like and Go Go. Like we ain't really, to me, we ain't really have a music scene. Like that's why I didn't really pursue the rap shit, cause it's like you got Go Go and you got the Young Farmers. That's just what it was.
So, you know, obviously it's well known like at 15, you got sentenced,
Yeah,
to 13 years,
nah, 40 years.
40, I'm sorry, yeah,
Yeah,
my bad, my
nah,
bad.
you
Yeah,
good.
so what was the backstory behind that?
Man, the Go Go shit, Go Go, disrespect. It was really over a bump and shit for real. Like man, the individual bumped each other. And that everything went left from there.
What like went through your mind when you like realized that you was about to be sentenced for that long at that age?
Uh, Probably was, man. I know I was thinking about my mother. I was like, damn, I know she blown. But like, also go back to my family. It's like I was prepared for that shit. Cause I got uncles 40 years that did 40 years, did 30 years, did 20 years, and some of them, a lot of them was in at that time in the feds and shit. I went to the state, but it's like I was prepared for real, cause I already knew like niggas was doing that much time. Like my youth was spent going up lower, and my mother taking me up lower, and for different, going to see different individuals hiding shit on me and shit, bringing it in on their family day and shit. So it's down there like I was prepared. Man, I was like, I was so young too. I ain't give a fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying?
How did your family take it like when they
Man, they
realized?
was fucked up. They was fucked up. They felt like, they felt like a nigga was railroaded. They felt like, what the fuck is he doing in adult court? They was fucked up. My mother took it the hardest because she might have, you know what I'm saying? She might have felt like it was her fault for real, because of certain things that she did while I was growing up and certain things that she didn't do. And probably my father felt like that too. But I know my mother did. My mother, she, you know what I'm saying? She felt like she put a nigga before her kids and shit. She was fucking with some wild ass, bum ass nigga and shit, man. Fucking with that nigga forever.
So when you was in prison, was it ever like moments where you was like you felt like you was never gonna get out?
Yeah, it was, I accepted it. Like after After like when I was up the road, after like 3, 4 years went by, I accepted that shit. After I lost my first appeal, I was like, man, I'm gonna be here. But like, if I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna get money. I'm gonna send money home to my mother, my family. I'm gonna be an asset to my peoples. I ain't gonna just be in this junk rotting away, or I ain't gonna be using my peoples. Like my man Bone, shout out to my man Delvon, Free Whack. He taught me how to like set myself up to be an asset to my family, even though I was in jail, in prison.
When you was in prison, that's when you like started writing, right? Basically.
I was writing when I was on was I writing? Yeah, I was, cause they used some of my songs and shit at my trial. Like the shit that they talking about now, they did that shit to me in 2004. Like the prosecutor rapping my raps and shit, and instead of saying nigga, he was like such and such N word, and they used that shit to bake me for real, for real. But I was writing, but it wasn't structured, and it wasn't like it wasn't because there's a way that you write raps. It was just me writing that shit down. But when I went to prison, I was taught how to actually write raps, taught how to actually structure songs and shit. So that we could say write songs. I was started writing songs when I was in prison.
Who were some of the people that kind of helped you with song
Oh,
structure?
My man Pistol Pete, he from Baltimore. Free Pistol. That's DJ Quicksilver cousin. He told me he was like that too. Slim was like that. He told me how to write. Cause when I came in there, I was just freestyling, like, and they was like, "Damn!" Like I was saying shit that you would be like, "That shit gotta be written." And Pistol was like, "Bro, you giving away so much shit, cause you gonna freestyle that shit and you gonna forget that shit. You gotta stop writing. You gotta stand." So when I was writing, he seen it. He's like, "Oh, you don't know how to write bars?" And I'm like, "What the fuck is a bar?" Like that's what I ain't know at home. What I was writing was bars. I just was writing raps and shit. But he taught me how to actually write that shit.
So at that point, is that did you kind of like develop a love for like making music?
Yeah, definitely. Cause I understood song format. Even though I wrote outside of the structure of song format, I created like my own format to writing songs, and I really fell in love with it because like niggas was in there doing it. Like they had go-go bands in jail. They had artists. They had R&B artists. Like I was like, oh, it's a whole fucking music world in this motherfucker. So that shit helped me cultivate that shit for real, for real.
Did like your talent and like the potential that you knew you had, did that kind of like help you motivate you to like get out of prison? Like be like, when I get out, I'm
Nah,
a
I always wanted to get the fuck out. You hear me? I wanted to get the like what for me, what had me wanting to get out was when I get pictures from motherfuckers on the streets and they fly as shit. They in the club, they in the go-go, they in other states now. Cause you mind, I was 15. We wasn't doing shit. For real, for real. You get pictures from your men, they in Miami, they in New York, they motherfuckers done went out the country, and you see different caliber of females. That's what motivated me to get out for real. For real. I was like, damn, these niggas don't. And like when I got locked up, we was wearing all days, Sabiato, We Out One, Madness, Squash All Beefs. These niggas went Prada, Gucci, Louis. I'm like, what is that? I didn't even know what it was. Like I didn't even know. That's how I learned about designer. Them niggas was wearing watches. I'm like, damn, this shit different. So I was like, and that's when I started dreaming, like, oh, I'm gonna get this, or start cutting shit out magazines, like I'm gonna get this car, I'm gonna get this outfit, put this with that. I'm gonna get a Rollie. Like I was like, I'm getting a Rollie. As soon as I touch, I'm getting a motherfucker. I'm busting that joint down. Like that's when I started dreaming for real.
what was like your lowest point you feel like when you was in prison?
My lowest point. Hmm, that's a good question. Nobody never asked no shit like that. My lowest point. Damn. Honestly, it might have been accepting that I might end up dying in here. Like being like, I lost my first appeal, and I walked, I was fucked up. So the kitchen CO let me go to the back, cause they basically called my mind. They called my mind scrap on the on whatever the fuck they called him on. So he came down there, and they was like, man, something wrong with El. Like they was like, something wrong with him. And they let him come back there and rap to me for real, for real. And he was like, bro, you good, like, nigga, you good, bro. And I was like, damn, like I might not go home. And I think I was like 17 or 18 or some shit, you know what I'm saying? I was like, damn. I was like, I probably ain't gonna go home and shit. You feel me? I think that was probably the lowest point. That was probably when I hit a space that I wasn't prepared for. There's no preparation for that shit to be like, all right, I might be here forever type shit. You know what I'm saying?
You was doing time too, like during the 2000s. So it's like, that's a rough time. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
it was
saying?
that's when prison was prison. I mean, prison is always prison, but it was just, it wasn't. I wasn't in a control unit at the time. Like the way they build prisons now is they like control units. They could control everything from the bubble with buttons. Like I'm talking about, I was in prison. I was in a cut where like it's still, you got to open the grill. It's an open jail, open environment. You might go somewhere and not see a CO for a long time. It might just be you and other niggas and whatever happened type shit. You know what I'm saying? It was prison. It was prison.
Yeah, I was so kind of like following up on that. What was like survival like for you, like every day? With it being
Staying
so
strapped.
dangerous.
Staying motherfucker strapped and letting niggas know that I'm willing to die for this shit. Let niggas know I'm willing to die about whatever. I don't give a fuck what it is. Like I'm willing to die. So once I adapted to the environment, I had to really let myself know that, like, nigga, you willing to die, nigga. So carry that shit on your shoulders, like. And I would, like, I did time, like, I was hustling the whole time I was in jail. I was amongst men. I was in the mix with everything. And I ain't just wasn't no young nigga that was in there that was just in it doing time or getting took for bad. Like niggas ain't play with me, and I was dragging, like, yeah. It's cause I had my mind made up. Like if I'm gonna be here, we gonna do what the fuck it do. Plus, I always feel like I got a family name to live up to too. You know what I'm saying? And I was bumping into motherfuckers that knew my uncle. Like my uncle, like a legend up in prison. So he was in the feds though. So and I'm in the state, and they like, yeah, your uncle said such and such, such such. I'm like, tell him I'm good. Like I don't need nobody to babysit me or walk me through. I'm good.
Who was some of the most like memorable people that you met while you was in prison?
Man, like I said, my man Wack. Some people call him Delvon or Bone. I talk to him every day. He might be calling me forever. I talk to him every day now. That's my big homie. Like I look at him like a big brother. He taught me how to hustle in there. He taught me how to, you know what I'm saying, get my own money. He taught me how to be an asset to my family. Then you got Mr. Soldier. Mr. Soldier, he old, like his name is Soldier for a reason. Like he was locked up when Martin Luther King got killed. Like Mr. Soldier did a rack of time. And that was my bunk buddy. We was in the cell together for like 5 years or some shit. And that's my dog. Like he taught me like like that transition of really being a man. Like I watched him pay for his kids to go to college in prison, buy houses and all kind of shit. Like he always took care of his family from prison. You know what I'm saying? Then you got my man Scrap. That's my best friend. He from Baltimore too. That's my motherfucking dog. Like man, we went to war on that motherfucker. He was always with me, like always with me. That's my motherfucking man. And niggas like Maintain, man. You got niggas. Spidey, that was a bunk buddy too. He from Baltimore. Man, so many niggas, man. Napoleon, he home. He did like 30 something years. OG, boxer, Little Lord. Uh, a lot. I was in so many prisons, and I was so young, and I was, you know what I'm saying, 13 years, a long time. So I got to meet some good men.
You talked or you've touched on before like how like what happens to like, predators that come into, prison, like how are they like dealt with like when they get into prison?
Oh yeah, man. It just depend on what prison they land in and who they around. If they around gang members, they gonna get extorted. They whole bit. You gonna get extorted or you gonna check in. Like simple as that. Or cause it's like motherfuckers used to physically do things to them, but then the mindset came like, why hurt them or harm them or kill them when we could just make them pay? You know what I'm saying? So niggas start making them niggas is paying, whether it's financially or whatever in the prison. Like, yeah, them niggas, they had a rough stay. The only way they didn't is if they knew how to get money. They had to connect on some blow or something, or but that's extortion though. So that's the only way you better be able to pay for real, for real. That's what it turned into. Because it used to be they was getting physically violated, but niggas got smart on them. It's like we just gonna get that bag out.
Did you ever like see that in person?
You say see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, yeah, most definitely. All the time, every day. Like if you go to commissary line, you could look and see who getting extorted. You could see who's beside them when they go in the commissary, so they can hand that motherfucker bag over. You know what I'm saying?
So it's been like said before that like people everybody that go to prison gonna have to like fight at least they gonna have to fight whenever they in there. Do you feel is that a true statement? You feel like
Yeah, in a way. Like I never like I fought in jail. Like I fought when I was in jail in a detention center. I never fought in prison. I only pushed the knife in prison, like, cause my mindset was just, it's not gonna be over. We're gonna fight. One of us gonna stab each other eventually. So we might as well just get this shit over with now. Ain't no purpose to be beefing and worrying all that shit. So I'm gonna push the knife in you, or you gonna push the knife in me. And that also helped me not get into certain situations, cause it's like, if it's not a situation where I feel like I should stab a nigga about, then I ain't even gonna involve myself in it. So like a lot of niggas be fighting. A lot of niggas like when the first day I came in the cut, a fighter, you know what I'm saying, rest in peace Bobo, like he got stabbed up the first day I came in, that big ass hole in his chest. Then like a year later he ended up getting killed. So like that fighting shit, man, I just feel like it was a waste of time. Like, unless it's like you got homeboys and y'all fight or something. But man, my man we ain't never play like that for real, for real.
did you ever have like any like worries about getting like shanked one day?
Yeah, I got stabbed before. I got stabbed in my face. I got stabbed like 56 times. Yeah, I ain't never like worried about it because I knew pushing a knife, you gonna end up getting stabbed. You know what I'm saying? I got stabbed on the end of my bit though. I'm talking about like on the very end of my bit is when I got stabbed. Like throughout the whole years, I was just, you know what I'm saying, always thugging and shit.
It's just like random events that happened that led
No,
to
no, I
that.
wasn't no random shit. It was over a beef that kept going and shit.
Uh,
You know what I'm saying? So when niggas don't die, it's gonna keep going. So,
mhm.
you know what I'm saying?
In October 2016, when you got released,
Yeah,
what is it? What was it like when you first got out? Like that first day?
man. Oh, I was so fucking happy, you hear me? Just to hug my mother, cause you know what I'm saying, she was fighting cancer and shit. But I went straight to the studio though. Like the first day, you know what I'm saying, I got picked up. Then I went to the studio and recorded my first mixtape. And I was around family. It was family and friends. Everybody was there. That shit was lit, man. That shit was lit. I got a pair of Jordans, threw the Jordans on, gave all that jail shit to like a homeless nigga that was out there. Yeah, it was on, man. It was on from there, Slim. I ain't gonna lie, it was on, Slim.
You dropped 10 days later
Yeah, yeah,
after you had got out. What
yeah.
was the process of making that?
Yeah, that was done on the first day. I recorded all them songs on the first day I was home. Then we dropped it. It took 10 days to mix and get the cover done and all that. Then we dropped it. Got my first club booking. Shout out DT, my dog. DJ Say. Man, it was on. Like I was in the mix 10 days out. I was in the mix. Uh,
Also, Carnage that hit different too.
yeah,
So like, what
that,
what was your mind space like when you came out
that
with
was
that?
that raw. Cause I like when I first came home, I was rapping so aggressive. Yeah, it was. It was like, and it had that title itself shows you how aggressive it was. Like even the title is carnage. Like you know what I'm saying. But it was raw. It was just raw talent for real, for real. It was just raw.
Did you feel like you had like a statement record to like let everybody know you was back, like when you got out?
Nah, cause I don't even think I was. I wasn't even really thinking about like, cause none of it was going on before I got like all this is new for real, for real. None of this was going on before I got locked up. So it was more so just come home and execute for real, for real.
So when you got out, what is like the culture shock like? Like you just like everything is different now. Like you
Mm-hmm.
talked about like you saw how you was seeing pictures of people like living their life, doing different
Yeah,
things. What was it like, cuz like when you get arrested and, sentenced to getting out, it's time, culture
yeah.
done
You gotta
changed and
think it
everything.
wasn't no iPods when I was home. It wasn't no YouTube.
Yeah.
It wasn't no streaming devices or streaming music. It wasn't. It wasn't. I don't know, it wasn't even no 41 rollies. Like I think them came out like '09. Everything was like 36. It's like not that I knew about it back then. It's just me not reading and shit. But everything was different, bro. Like everything. That phone. Like I remember when the first phone came out when I was home, that was able to take pictures and video, and the videos was only like 30 seconds. It was like a blue. It was a blue Sprint flip phone. So to come home and what I'm saying? But I had phones while I was locked up too, so I wasn't that amazed by it. But now I got it and could use it without having to hide it and look over my shoulder. But the culture shock for me was how disrespectful people was out here now. Like motherfuckers be talking reckless out this. Like I was shocked. I was shocked. It was haunting to me, like to be at the gas station and niggas just mugging you, and walk in a grocery store, niggas just mugging and looking and being like just butt jumping in front of you, and I was like, damn, man, cut one of these niggas' heads off. I'm just like I had to learn that I had to learn that like this shit is not a threat, like, cause in there if somebody do any of those actions, they gonna get their motherfucking head chopped off. Like it's not gonna like over the littlest thing. Like even like being from D.C., I'm a Cowboy fan. Everybody here skins. It's a Commanders now. But like in prison, I seen when Q killed the nigga over the Redskin Cowboy gang. Like from niggas talking shit and all that shit. Q was a Cowboy fan. He ended up killing the nigga. So out here, when that shot be like niggas, the respect level was like low. And that threw me off, man. That threw me off, and it had me scared because I was like, I might end up killing. I might, you know what I'm saying? Like I might end up, and I had an experience where man, you hear me? Like it's fucked up out this joint. It was fucked up. Yeah.
So with your music, you kind of like blend, like, pain and then
Mm-hmm.
hope and then, pretty much everything you went through all goes into your music. Like,
Facts.
do you feel like your time in prison and everything you've been through, like, kind of like helped shape you as an artist?
Definitely, definitely. But honestly, I think I might have already been in prison before I went to prison, Slim. Like I was in my head a lot when I was young. That's like prison ain't like break me or nothing. Like I done went to Supermax. Like that ain't break me. Like I was good for real, mentally. I was good. Like I was just dealing with this shit. But I was already like that when I was young. When I was a kid, I thought different. I processed shit different. Like the first person that I ever loved more than anything, she died, you know what I'm saying, when I was 15. That was my grandma. She died a month before I went to jail. So when that happened, I think I was like, damn, anything could get took from you. Like, ain't nobody love me the way she loved me. Like, ain't nobody take care of me the way she took care of me. And when she died, I was like, damn, the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So dealing with that shit, like, I just was my mindset has always been like probably fucked up for real.
So with the projects Bag Season 2 and, Long Live Real, what was like the concept behind those projects?
Bag Season 2, that's you know what I'm saying, it's a sequel to Bag Season 1. It's Bag Season 2, I loved it because I think it was my coming out party for real. It's when like my flow got calm. I wasn't I was home enough and experienced enough to not be trapped for real by the shit from prison, the culture shock of coming home. Like I was traveling, I done dealt with people, I done met new people. So that Bag Season 2 was like it was like me for real, who I supposed to be like free. Long Live Real, dedicated. That's to my co-defendant. He died and shit. And, them songs more so like them songs is like songs that's I know he'll fuck with. Like he'll call me like, yeah, I like it when you rap like this. Or I like it when you rap like that. He more so like raps that's more dumbed down. Cause he like Master P and shit. That nigga always loved Master P. And I was like, bro, that nigga can't rap. Like, but that's the shit he love. He said he don't want shit to be too complicated. And then he ended up starting DJing and shit. So those two projects is just embodiments of two different things, two different experiences, but like the biggest transitions of my life since I've been home. And like the end of those transitions is Mob Apocalypse Now, which is a play off Tupacalypse Now. Like that project, that's the last one I dropped. That joint is probably my favorite because it's a mixture of everything, and I think it's also that surviving issue of that survivor's guilt shit is threaded through that project too, because it's just like sometimes I be like, damn, how the fuck is I'm here? Or how am I still here? Like, oh, I'm the last surviving member of all my friends. Damn, my niggas still locked up and shit, you know what I'm saying? That I became acquainted with in prison. So it be like, how the fuck is I'm still here type shit, you know what I'm saying?
So talk about like what went into you creating Mobish Records.
Oh yeah, that shit came from when I was in the cut. And the cut is, you know what I'm saying, it's built, it's a penitentiary for real. It's an inside prison. Everything lock and key, grills, bars, and shit. It's all single cell. So I was I be listening. I'm just out listening and shit, listening to niggas talk. And I noticed that like niggas knew everything about the mob, all the five families and everything. But they ain't know a lot about black history and shit. So that stood out to me. So I wanted to know why. So I started studying the mob shit myself, and I noticed that, you know what I'm saying, they came here. They was, you know what I'm saying, poor when they came. Then they started doing like, you know what I'm saying, little petty crimes and shit. Then they started dibbling, dabbling, getting money. Then they started doing organized crime. Then they started sending their kids to school to be lawyers, doctors, politicians, and all that shit. And I was like, damn, we it's a similar story, but we got brought here, you know what I'm saying, slavery, and we came up through the ranks through the, you know what I'm saying, Jim Crow days and all that to where we at now. We done been through petty crime, street crime, organized crime, and all that shit. And it's like, what's next? So I was like, man, we gotta get on some mob-ish. Like, we gotta get on some mob-ish and like really, really, like get somewhere or do something. And mob-ish stand for motivation of black, intelligence, sound, and harmony. And that's where the, you know what I'm saying, the mixture of the music mixed in with like the hope of driving for greatness and shit. You know what I'm saying?
So do you feel like a lot of the artists you sign, do a lot of them have like kind of a similar story to you coming
Nah,
up?
man. Everybody that I ever, even if some artists that, you know what I'm saying, we had that we don't got no more. Like, everybody's story is different. Because there's so many different ways to be great and to get to greatness. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, all us still, we come from a struggle. But everybody's struggle is different.
So and you kind of like you've been known to go back into the prisons and talk to the people that's there, like including like like Migo Lee. Like what what drives you to do that?
Just knowing what was missing, just like looking at my life and like wondering what was missing, what could have changed in my life, like what would I have needed in this moment. I look at moments of my life and moments that went for the worst, and I'm like, what could have changed that moment? And it's like I put like pins in it, and that's what I try to do for the next man. Whatever situation they in, if it's something that I can relate to, I'm gonna be there and give them what I feel like I needed at that time. So that's where that shit come from.
What do you usually like say to them, like when you get to talk to them?
It depends on their situation. It depends on what they going through. Like I'm gonna speak directly to that situation, and like whether I'm letting them know like, now this shit ain't over, or letting them know what to do or how to prevail even while you inside that situation. We're gonna talk directly about that, and I'm gonna give them the realest shit that I could give them in the moment. I'm gonna give them my number and let them know hit me. I'm always gonna be here. You feel me?
You also got to talk to Sean Branch and Creflo Dollar. Like, what was that like?
Sean Branch was that's like a home. That's like a homie for real, like a big homie, and he's someone that I get game from, and he listened too. He listened, and just knowing his story, his background, where he come from, and to know that like he's still who he is with his name, nothing tarnished at the age that he at. Like it's hope for what like we could be, and anybody that's younger than me for real, for real. And on the flip side, to be able to speak to Creflo Dollar and not feel judged or not feel like belittled enough, and like normally that's how you would think they would come at you. We talking about preachers and pastors that's multi-millionaires and shit. Like, he was real. He made me feel. He let me know what I was doing was real, and he, you know what I'm saying, he saluted me.
So kind of like moving to like the visuals that you have for like your different videos or just anything you doing. How did like the creative processes with like with Katisha and Mental Mayhem, like how does that like work as far as like
Oh shit, that's my dog, man. Now that's somebody that we went through the similar shit, but different like surroundings. Like I was in prison, she was in the army. You know what I'm saying? Like they go through shit in the army like a motherfucker. So she got a lot of pain, she got a lot of trauma, she got a, you know what I'm saying? She got a story. She got blew up over there, all kind of shit. So her picking up that camera, she cooked now too. But it was just like easy for me to paint whatever picture that needed to be painted because she knew the struggle. She know how I got to be represented in order for people to understand what it is and shit. So it's like a great team effort for real, for real. Anytime we collaborate and put something together.
what how was DC changed like from when you was coming up to like basically 9 days when you got out of prison?
Man, I ain't never see so many bicyclists, bikes, like there's bike lanes everywhere, Slim. There's bike lanes everywhere, trash cans everywhere. Like it wasn't like you used to have to throw shit in a dumpster. But like on my side, like 8th Street is different. 8th Street is like they got clubs, good restaurants. Like for me growing up, 8th Street was more so like it was like homeless people on it, a bunch of abandoned buildings. You had like, you know what I'm saying, you had department store, you had Murray's, barber shops. Popeyes was always there. But it was like a lot of homeless people, like war veterans out there. Now it was like a trolley train, clubs. Uh, a lot of spots is like more brighter now. Like I remember when I first came home, seeing a white guy walking a cat on a leash in my neighborhood. Like white people didn't even used to like they wouldn't even come through that jump. Like he had a cat on a leash walking through the alley. But DC changed like the communities is different. Like we grew up just outside, the music, just the kids, and now it's just, you know what I'm saying? You might get too loud and somebody might call the police. You feel me? Like kids don't know the feeling of like their neighbors being parents to them too. Like their neighbors is their extended family. Now you might got a house over here and a house over here that's an Airbnb. Like every week is a different people in them houses that the kids don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that.
Do you feel like the you talked earlier, you said a lot of the new generation a little more disrespectful than when you was coming up. Do you feel like the youth now kind of don't got the same as far as like they don't have the same morals like say like somebody like from your era do?
Yeah, cause the structure different. They ain't grow up with the same structure that we did. Cause I grew up. Well, I grew up in prison, and I grew up by the niggas that was supposed to teach me on the streets. So basically, all them mass incarcerations from the late '80s throughout the '90s and early 2000s wiped out a whole generation of niggas. So you had young niggas jumping off the porch when they was 10, 11, 12, 13, and the entire neighborhood is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't imagine the whole neighborhood being mine when I was 12 or 13, and I'm able to call shots. I don't know shit. I don't know enough to maintain this shit. That's why niggas get to hustling now, and they hustle only lasts for 18 months or 10 months. You know what I'm saying? It's because the structure is not there. The structure wasn't there. Like they ain't get the rules and the order of operation from the old heads, because them niggas got wiped out by them mass indictments and shit.
So you was talking earlier. You had talked about how being in DC and how it's like a tourist attraction. Like everybody come here to see Monument, White House, Lincoln Memorial, all that. You said you ain't never really been able to go see that when you was young.
Yeah,
But
I never went to the monument. Like I remember, cause like being in my neighborhood, you could see it. You could see the monument. Like if you look towards the Union Station way. I don't know if that's north, whatever, but looking towards the direction you'll go for Union Station, you can see the monument. I never even wondered about it, honestly. I didn't really care. And I used to think the Capitol was the White House. Like I never, like we never, we never been down there. And it's sad though. It's sad that like I was born in Providence. That hospital not here no more. But I was born here, and I never been to none of these places. And I'm trying to remember if I ever even been to the DC Zoo before. I never, we never went. Some people said they schools took them. My school ain't. I went to Ruth K. Wade. They ain't never take me. And when I went to Francis Scott Key, they never took us. So I don't know if I was suspended or they just didn't take me because I was bad as fuck. I don't know. But I never I didn't see the monument until like 3 years ago. The first time I ever seen the monument.
so I'm gonna use like Lamont Roach for an example. When he had his fight with Tank, a lot of people was saying, he ain't from DC. Like he from PG.
Yeah.
So from your perspective, what's your take on that whole DMV, DC, PG? Y'all ain't
It's
us. We
big.
ain't them.
It's big, man. And I was one of the. I was one of the ones. Like, I was born and raised in Northeast, and then mother moved from Trinidad to Suitland. But I still was, you know what I'm saying, coming to Northeast every weekend, every day after school, all the entire summer. So I never missed a beat. But I was also in Suitland. I also was out Suitland. I also got good men from Home Avenue. Good men, good men from Home Avenue. John, DT, like good men. And it's like I understand though. I understand the difference. I know the difference. And I understand why both sides be beefing. I understand why both sides get in big debates all the time. And I like being on the juvie block, that was the biggest bump, DC and PG, and I always used to get caught in the middle because I had dudes that knew me from DC and I had dudes that knew me from PG, and they were like, "Nah, he from here or he from here." But you got to be active though. You got to, as an individual, you got to be outside active. Like I don't know Roach. I don't know him, and I don't know if he was active in PG or in DC. So I don't know if who claimed them. But it ain't really about what you claim. It's about what claim you. But yeah, but it's definitely it get wild when it comes to that DCPG because you got some dudes that moved from DC when they was 6, 7, or younger and never went back, but they claim they DC roots because it just seem cooler, it just seem better, and make you seem harder, I guess. And yeah, it's a tough situation, even though they right across the street from each other. But you would think it's like the holy war. It's like over there. It's like the holy war, man. It's them imaginary lines, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, like another example of that is like KD, for example. Like
Hmm.
him being from like Seat Pleasant, but to like people who ain't from DC or the DMV, they say he from DC.
Hey,
You
I
know.
live next door to KD. Like I know KD, I know his brother, I know his mother. His mother, she's mean as a his mother was mean. But yeah, that's the thing. Like it's like and he reps C Pleasant. Like he don't. The only time you'll hear him say DC if he's somewhere where he know they don't know what C Pleasant is, but they would know what DC is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that. It's like when you going out, like outsiders don't see the difference in them imaginary lines. They look at PG and DC as DC. Like this just is what it is. There's no disrespect, there's no harm. But it's people here that it take, you know what I'm saying? And I've been guilty of that a few times. Like somebody say something like, oh, like, oh, you gotta get that right. Like I done been in places where a person will say, I'm from Baltimore. And I'm like, what? They were like, DC, Baltimore's all the same. I'm like, no, the fuck is not. They were like, y'all only 40 minutes from each other, an hour. I'm like, bro, it's two different worlds. I got men out of Baltimore, I love them to death, but like we not the same though. Me and my when me and my man beside each other, you gonna know we from different places. As soon as he open his mouth and be like, "Chew, dude," you gonna know he ain't from the city. Like matter of fact, I'm gonna give you an example. This is a young mindset. When I went to the cut and dudes started talking to me, and I was like, "What's up, young?" They was like, "Oh, he from DC." I was like, I didn't even know what he meant. Like, I'm like, ain't we all? Like, I didn't know different places talk different, and that come from never traveling and going nowhere. Like when I started hearing what people from different places say, I was like, damn. That was a culture shock. Like I thought everybody said Young, Joe, Jai, Luncheon, Jonan. Like like I remember we used to be like look at shoes like damn them Jones wet. Like now they be saying they hard. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we was at our jail, we be like, man, I can't wait to hit the bricks. But they'd be like, I can't wait to go uptown. I'm like, damn. Like I just didn't I never knew.
So, all right, since you kind of was bringing up the slang talk, I'm gonna go that route.
Mhm.
You, I always ask like the DC people that come through, what is like DC slang that, or just like DC lingo that like is unique to DC that it comes from DC. People in DC say it like it ain't a outside thing.
Young. Young is probably I would say will be the flag of our language. Cause you got older dudes that say Joe. If I'm mad, I say Joe. I be like, man, what the fuck, Joe? But younger dudes will say Mo. Like I never. That's something that happened when I was locked up. Like when that got introduced. But Mo will be it, cause I never heard somebody from nowhere else say Mo. Jai yeah, Jai and yeah, man, yeah, like understanding what that is. But luncheon, Jonah, uh, calling police Bodings. I don't know if other people call cigarettes jacks. Uh, but young, I don't believe nobody say that. I don't even know the history on young. Like I don't, and that's like even with young E class, people will be like, when you get older, are you gonna take the young off? And I be having to correct them like the young is not about age. It's young E class is to let you know where I'm from. Like that's what the young for. But like young, I never heard. And when people automatically, as soon as you say young, they know where you from.
And you talked about DC and Baltimore. Do you feel like that's a real thing, a real beef, DC and
Yeah,
Baltimore?
man, it is. Like man, even though like nobody like to admit it, but it is. It is. And it's depend on where you at though. Like I told you, my best friend, whom I consider my best friend, he from Baltimore. I met him in prison. But me and him know DC and Baltimore don't get along in the state prison. It's on. They said in the feds that they be in the same car, but in the state prison, they don't really get along a lot. Like he had a lot of men that was like, "Why you with that DC nigga?" And I had men that was like, "Why you with that Baltimore nigga all the time and shit?" You know what I'm saying? And there was times in the cut that DC and Baltimore went to war, like they was pushing that knife in each other and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I remember it was a conversation me and my man had, and we was like, "Bruh," because there been plenty times that where we was at, it was about to shit was about to pop. And me and him tell each other like, just stay at this. We gonna stay out each other way. When we get to pushing that knife, I ain't gonna stab you, you don't stab me. But we gonna go to war like, cause I ain't crossing no picket lines. But a lot of times that shit should be stupid. A lot of times it come from the juvenile system and shit. And, yeah, niggas just don't like each other. It's just difference in opinion, thinking they city is the best, thinking they the city is the most violent and shit like that. Like I witnessed it a lot of times. But it's just by me coming to prison so young, I more so hung with a lot of Baltimore dudes because they was lit like my energy was lit at that age. Like, cause like in them early 2000s, like they was blood. A lot of them was bloods and shit. So you know I'm listening to Lil Wayne talking blood shit. They talking blood shit. So I'm like, damn, these niggas crazy as shit. Like I felt that shit. Like the older dudes that I was locked up with, they was listening to like Scarface, Spice One. I was not listening to that shit. Like I listen to Scarface, but not the way they do. Like they live by that shit. They listening to a bunch of like old shit. They was on like gangster time. We on some young lit, listening to dedication. We going up. Them older niggas want listening to Wayne back then and shit. So I more so gravitated towards them. And they tattoos, they was tatted up. And they was, them niggas is, Baltimore niggas crazy as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So that was my energy. So that's why I fucked it with them. And it was dudes on my way that was mad at me about that shit. But they couldn't, they couldn't do nothing to it, say nothing to me, because I'm a man that stand on everything that I do. So they'd say like, damn, why you be hanging with them all the time? Or if I get a horse or get a plug and we get money together, they feeling some type of way, because I'm, you know what I'm saying, rocking with Baltimore niggas. And the Baltimore niggas, they men that feel some type of way when they was rocking with me. But Mr. Soldier, who I told you about older, earlier, he from Baltimore. Like, he from Baltimore. He from East Baltimore. That's that's my heart. You hear me? That's my heart. But yeah, the tension is real. Like, the tension is real between Baltimore and the city, and the state facilities.
And so when I had DC Decades on here, he talked about how he and like how like a lot of the young generation, as far as slang go, they use slang from like other cities.
Yeah,
Like,
that
how
shit
do you feel
annoying.
about that?
It gets annoying because it's like DC always been unique. Like, we always did things our way. So when I hear a nigga from here and from DC or PG say yo, I be like, damn, bro. We fought long to never use that word, and y'all niggas just using that shit. Like, that's some New York shit, Baltimore. Everybody say, like, yo is universal amongst everybody but us. Like, I never heard nobody in my entire life say yo until I came home from prison. And I started hearing people out here saying it. I was like, what the fuck? I never heard that shit out here. Never heard it. I never heard nobody from our area use it in jail. We always say young, you know what I'm saying? And it's hurtful a little bit because it take away our uniqueness. Like, but it's because of social media and shit. It's because, like, people be, you know what I'm saying? So, like, it hurt though. It do hurt when I hear it. I be like, damn, man. Like, we've been fighting for our independence. Feel like a damn fucking politician or something. We've been fighting for our independence so motherfucking long, and y'all just folded to this. Even like grills, like growing up, I ain't never see nobody unless you old as shit from like the '60s and you had like a gold tooth or some shit. But I never seen nobody had no grills and no fronts. Like that was always like Baltimore or down south, or I don't know if they did it in New York or not. I don't know. But then I started seeing niggas out here with grills and shit, and like, dang.
You feel like people like from other cities be stealing like DC swag?
Fuck yeah. Man, company still DC swag. I remember seeing the phone posies with the phones with the which ones was them? They had the two circle bubbles on it with the honeycomb in it. I remember seeing niggas cutting the bubble out and wearing it like that. And then Nike started selling ones like that. I was like, damn. Hey, like it's unique down here. It's real unique. Our area, we put that shit together, and it's a small area, and we didn't have a large selection like other areas had. So we had to do it. Just like our urban clothing. Like niggas wasn't doing that shit nowhere else. Like nobody was doing. Like we started that shit. They got that shit from us. That shit was, you know what I'm saying? And phones. Like we did phones. New Balances. Come on, bro. Bro, I remember getting locked up as a juvenile and being around somebody from Baltimore, and they said, "Oh, he from D.C. He got them D.C. shoes on." I remember them calling them D.C. shoes, like, cause dudes wore New Balances, Sauconys, them Sauconys, and the Avies. Especially uptown. Niggas uptown was wearing Avies, cause I used to be around Letroy Park. The dude that I told you my mother was fucking with, he was from Letroy Park, and we used to go around. I used to be around there a lot, and niggas wore Avies and shit. But New Balances. Oh yeah, and like older niggas that was fucking with some money, they used to wear them K-Swiss, them classic Jones. I remember that shit too. But New Balances was always number one. Foams and, retro Jordans. Well, they weren't retro back then when they came out, but you know what I'm saying, Jordans.
You do you think that, or what's your take on the New York D.C. Timberland debate?
Honestly, because they still love Timberlands, they can have Timberlands. They can have it. I've heard some of my old heads say that, but me personally, I let New York have the Timberlands, but they can't have the Nike boots. I know we start the 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 one particular Nike boot. I know we started it. I know that was us, and because we was wearing ACG boots too. They ain't Nike boots, but they just ACG jumps. Like I know that was us. Like yeah, they can have the Timbs. Like I ain't gonna fight about the Timberlands, because when I think of Timbs, I think of a New York nigga. They wear Timbs with shorts in the summertime. They love Timbs. They can have that shit.
So lastly, man, I just want to ask, like, what's up next for Young E Class?
Shit, new music coming, new visuals coming, and like really is these series. I got a series on YouTube called Young E Class Kites, and each episode is just a story about jail and prison. Like each episode is, I'm taking you with me. I'm telling you what it was or whatever it may been. Like all of it ain't on no rah rah shit. All of it ain't on, like, you know what I'm saying, the worst parts. I'm taking you there with me. And we on episode 3 right now. It's been doing good for real. Just because everybody been asking me for years to talk about prison, like, because I never talked about it. Other than the interviews, like outside the interviews, I really never gave like a day for day experience in there. I never really told no stories. And I got thousands, like I did 13 years. I got thousands of stories. Like, I don't know, like it's 365 days in a year, so that'll be 365 times 13. Like whatever you get from that, that's how many days I was in that motherfucker. You hear me? So I got a lot of stories, man. But that's what's new. And I've been stepping in the acting world. I'm in a movie that's about to be on the streaming platforms now. It's called Stoners. The first time I seen myself on a big screen in a movie theater, it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So might fuck with the acting shit. I've been doing the modeling shit. Been on billboards all around the United States. So yeah, so we got a lot of shit coming up. It ain't over yet. The story ain't done yet.
All right then, Young E Class.
All
Appreciate you
right.
pulling up,
I
man.
appreciate you having me, man. My free the game.